Good morning. I am Jan Cercone at Sound and Light Healing Arts. And today's Being Light or Becoming Light theme is going to be on aging. We have a sense as we go through our 20s and 30s and 40s, and we see gray-haired people, and we know that we will get there. And there's also a part of us that, being humans, that we hold natural prejudices. We might love our own family members that are elderly and wrinkled. I remember telling my grandma, I love your skin, it's so soft, but there's so much of it. And so sometimes I look at my arm and it gets that crepey, drapey sort of look. And I said, oh my goodness, that's what a 61-year-old arm looks like. So we might just wake up and suddenly look in the mirror, like my Aunt Vera used to say, and say, what's my mother doing here? Or notice that all of the ads that we always wanted to ignore before on looking younger, smoother, 60-year-old grandmother looks 40. But I actually look at them, and I wouldn't say I take offense, but I take a stand of that the vitality and the essence and the magnetic aura of a person is the truest beauty that can be. A young person can be stately and smooth skin and have a nice smile and a sparkle. And to be honest, beauty is one of the divine principles. So we enjoy a flower in its full color bloom and smooth. We enjoy a youthful, beautiful, svelte figure and shiny hair and all of that. And we appreciate the timing as well. I think it's amazing that so many older people say, I wish I had a young body because now I know how to appreciate it and how to use it to the fullest proper ability. Many times as women, if we have beauty, we tend to misuse our beauty and be manipulative and hold that power of the visual over men, and it creates havoc in relationships. So why am I bringing all of these fears of aging, issues of aging, all of this up? Because it is all up now. It is up for transformation. And I don't just mean at a metaphysical, perceptual belief level to take blinders off that we suddenly are only seeing people's essence. No, that's difficult to do anyway, living in a third dimensional realm with third dimensional feelings and people and relationships. And especially, I hear my friend Martin Uchik often saying that men in our society get their status by having a younger woman, and women like powerful alpha males. Well, I think all of this is changing as people mature, of course, and this primal drive towards security or to feel forever young is the state of an unexamined, not quite full in divinity. And I'm not saying that judgmentally. I'm saying that it is based on ego. And as we move past our ego, we obviously have new soul choices and new heart-centered choices and ways of approaching and being, not just in intimate romantic relationships, but with all people of all ages in an entirely new way. And some of the ancient cultures revered the crones, the elder, and had a special place for them for their knowledge, their wisdom, and didn't have that, an older person. And so I've noticed now that I'm going to become a grandmother too, that I am shifting my perception of myself, and I often can feel very much how people are generating a field of consensual judgment based on their age. For instance, I will walk into here in Nevada City like a tea bar that's, generally young people. And when they turn around, I'm completely dismissed. It's as if I didn't even walk in, or it's beyond that. It's a lack of acknowledgement and a pushing away. Almost as an oppositional of saying this is my generation and my space and my place. So a lot of this is natural. It's selection for choosing our tribe, our group. So again, why am I bringing this up? Number one, I feel that we have lost some of the ancient familial and societal healthy approaches to aging and inclusion and respect and honoring. But the work that I do is actually living between the quantum world, where you are the co-creator of all of your experience, and the fear-based society, which is still ego-driven, and all you have to do is look at the media to be sickened, to feel and sense what is being forced and created for people to digest, which is not really digestible. So let's move over to the quantum field. Aging. Aging is actually a choice. It is an entrainment with a programming. It is an entrainment with a system that has been misaligned with the original divine programming for Earth. It is of a geometric level, and when we are born, we have a geometric energy field that must fit into the Earth and fits into the families. But this fall from grace that we all talk about in a spiritual sense was actually a cutting off of the actual perfected alignment, geometrical alignment with the principles of creation. And we began having maladaptive, oppositional, resistant behaviors to benevolence and kindness and goodness. And it just began fulminating. So the beings that are spiritually waking now and are messengers with new paradigm initiatives in ways of eating, ways of living, new structures, living on the land, sustainability, new relationships. But I don't think what has absolutely been approached with the truth principles that I work with of co-creation vibrationally to be in alignment with all that you wish to experience and be, is that we do have choice around aging. And it is not just to choose healthy foods or exercise or to be trim or to be full of vitality. That is actually just the bottom level. To hold your system in such a way that all systems are maximally vitalized to hold a high, consistent vibration so that you don't entrain with some of the negative thought patterns and take on how society thinks. But then we go beyond that. When you are holding the field energetically of physical balance and mental and emotional, and your chakras are balanced, I have gone and had electromagnetic aura images at every possible state of my beingness. I do crazy things, have my picture taken. I go into a state of ecstasy and pure balance, have my picture taken, so that I could really study the electromagnetic field. And one day, I felt absolutely clear. I had done my clearing work, removed some trauma and emotional issues, and had a huge vortexing, and I felt deliciously balanced and wonderful glowing. Went down to the aura imaging machine, and guess what? My auras were perfectly balanced, and I had a glowing halo. I took this to my teacher, who's very, very brilliant, can see a lot of things, and she said, Jan, you obviously were in the first stages of your higher, what we call Christed consciousness. Everything was balanced, and at that point, you pop through the basic, this dimension reality, and you can begin to access the creational field. And just as a point of reference, this hertz is 734 hertz. So I'll give you another hint. Sometimes when I am doing sound and I am deeply in the amorphous, just ecstatic bliss of bringing sound and I'm feeling just wonderful, people will open their eyes in an event and each one of them will say, Jan, you look about 19 years old. Just no wrinkles, young and glowing. And then they also say, people who talk to people who passed over the next higher dimension, that they always have a beautiful glowing age that they choose to be represented with. And they use the beauty principle to be beautiful and youthful, whatever age that is. So it sounds like if we are in a heavenly place of high frequencies, and I can even prove it with an electromagnetic picture of my auric field of golden glowing with it, that within that field, my thoughts create. I know this is true. I've had many miracles where when you go up the ladder and you're in a high vibrational state, you actually have an opportunity to have a dominant effect to rearrange the molecules of this dense dimension. And that is the spiritual path. It is releasing any egoistic needs. It is coming to a place of humility and working with the principles of energy, with good for all and harm to none, so that when you do create a miracle, it is simply to demonstrate to another person that this too you can do, and let me show you how. If we didn't have some what we call supernatural things, which are really very natural, once we go into the higher realms and look down and see how people are struggling so terribly with grasping just the very simplest principles of physics and entrainment, it makes sense. But how does this apply to aging? Well, there are many people who've had an ability to go to the future. One fellow, Mellon Benedict, went for 3 hours. He was the highest number of post-tests. He went to Stanford Hospital, and it was amazed what he saw in the future. He traveled everywhere, and they came back in his body. And he said that they use infrared or very special pulsing lights. Again, vibrational light. And that's how that they could go in and cleanse, rejuvenate, and vitalize the cells. So did you know in beauty parlors now, they have I actually have one because I have a center, Sound and Light Healing Arts. And you sit in front of it, it's LED and infrared lights, and it actually gives cells new messages of warmth and movement so that it can just release, I guess, the old collagen or old messaging at the molecular level and rejuvenate, recycle, regenerate. Then one time I went in and had, they call it a light treatment, and it's a laser treatment, and they just put this light right into your skin. And I thought that was amazing. And what it does is it takes all the brown spots out, and for a while my skin was just very white and light. So just so you know, I don't use any fancy skin products. I go to CVS and I just get Eucerin. Just it's almost like a Vaseline product. It just holds the moisture in. I think that we've been so oversold on these expensive products and processes and Botox. And it is an inwardly generated energy when taken in from source to change our thinking and then send out new messaging to the body. And I'll be teaming up with more beings. I worked with a naturopath last year who is working with herbs and potions and affirmations. But again, those things are all external. To become young is simply to become light. And the 3-point process that I bring every single Wednesday and every process I do allows us to make choice in every moment. Problem is, we come out of the meditation. When the meditation, we feel great, we feel rejuvenated. I've seen spontaneous healing from metastatic cancer, seen people brighten up. I always say, look in the mirror. I want you to integrate and see that this is your essence coming forth in the world, and just dial that in, that is your restored, beautiful essence. But what happens is we go into that state and we go out the door and, oh gosh, we got a ticket. I'm stupid. Or the authorities are dumb. Those negative thoughts puncture your energy field. I have lots of stories of how that's happened, amazingly so. So you get to choose to stay in the zone. So when we finish this 3-point Be the Light meditation, I always say, let's place a beautiful, golden, resilient egg around our entire energy field so that other thoughts bounce off. And you might be saying, this is fantasy thinking. It's not being planted in the real world. Well, to be a change agent, to change yourself, you have to imagine something bigger and different. You have to be in this world, but not of it. You must be out of the box thinker who uses the new quantum principles. What we know from science now is so uniformly squelched by the medical industry, by the authoritarian spiritual hierarchy, because we each are a temple of grace, complete and healthy unto our own. And that's not acceptable in a society based on economics of sickness and inferiority complexes and a need for a guru. So let's go ahead and do a little meditation. I've set you up here. If you're new to this process, let's just talk about it for a moment. We simply ask and intend to set a sacred space. We put our entire body into what I call a whole-on of balance. It is a geometric structure which protects us. First, we ask and intend to push everyone else's energy out of our energy field. No one has any business painting you with their thoughts and judgment. They have no idea who you are, who you can be, who you're becoming, or who you were. Really, it's none of their business. It's none of my business what they think. So we take a breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And as we ask and intend to set this sacred space, we call in our divine guides who have a very high vibration and lovingly oversee, humorously smiling at our resistance to understanding our divinity and our co-creation ability. Take a deep breath through your nose and out through your mind, and let's let all the words soften. And let's become the experience. Let your belly open with the next breath. Let your mind just become a soft pool of no thoughts. And you are just expanding and relaxing and letting go. We ask and intend that in this exercise, that we experience the elative feeling of regeneration at the molecular level of our physical body. We ask that we release limited beliefs around our own ability to choose the density, the opacity, the luminosity, the shape, the form, anything about our physical body. We ask that we release any hesitation in allowing ourselves to believe that we are divine co-creators. This is a very big, tall order. Request of yourself to drop that belief now. Excellent. So now we need something new to experience something new. So we're asking the Creator to make a beautiful ball of effervescent light, a formula just for you, that in a moment we will breathe and take in our bodies, that helps reframe our thinking and experience and perception about our physical self. And then a bath of purifying energies to lift, restore, and reignite cellular processes such that they bring us a sense of radiance, well-being, fluidity. Did I say radiant? I love that word. I've got my t-shirt on, I am. That I am. I am who I am. I am who I was meant to be. I am not outwardly referencing. I'm only referencing myself to my own inner perfected alliance in this moment. And if you're a person who's ever worried about being attractive to the other sex, I've worked in nursing homes. And men and women who run this kind of energy are very magnetic and always have a partner and plenty of love and attention. In ancient times in the Essenes, they would run these energies to such a degree that the outer communities who didn't know the techniques would get suspicious as why someone wasn't aging. So they would have this person go visit relatives in Avalon or another neighboring tribe for a while and come back and pretend that they were another person, a distant cousin or something. It was very interesting how they dealt with it. And the Egyptians also have very complicated, specific ways. Jean Houston tells me that she has studied and she understands the anti-aging. Look at her skin. She's absolutely gorgeous. So can you allow yourself to learn and embody these secrets and to feel that they're natural? It is safe. It is not going to make you weird or different than other people. It just means that you've chosen a new path to walk with spirit, to walk with the energies of the divine. Ageless presence, ageless beauty, and walking with the divine principle of light. So all of this is something that you can embrace. So I am preparing you now to take a deep breath and let this ball of light just begin to melt down over the top of your head. Feel its tickling, wonderful, sparkly energy going into your skull and into your brain. And it is wiggling down and it is awakening sleeping neurons, bringing new messaging. We ask and intend that all programming and experiences related to our sense of aging be dissolved now. We ask to come to the 0 point as if we haven't learned anything and ourselves have forgotten how to age. It's almost as if we've gone into a new world where it's impossible to age. Why couldn't this be true? We are creating a new paradigm together, to revitalize humans in sustainable ways of living. This is one of the stair steps. Take a breath through your nose and out through your mind. Congratulate yourself that you are stepping up the frequency ladder and being a designer of your human experience, specifically your body. You are joyfully watching yourself have more energy. Your tendons are flexible. Your skin is just shining and full and plump with luscious life and moisture. Your endocrine system is supporting you in healthful ways. All of this now is giving your brain new guidelines. You have a new navigational system. Now let this energy come down into your throat. Let it burn off all the words and communications that have kept these limitations intact and in place. Now let this energy come onto your shoulder, and we are burning off everyone else's ideas. Let them entrain with that. Just like everybody who smokes, you look at them and you say they may choose to smoke. Now you look at everybody who's aging, oh, they're choosing to age. You are choosing something different. Now let this energy come down into your heart. We ask and intend that your heart be rejuiced and rebooted to be the highest degree of energetic perfection now. We ask that this expand out to the lungs and now into all the connective tissues, the circulatory system. And we ask that this essence that is coming down and flowing through our body is washing out chemicals of stress, cortisol, that it is replacing for the adrenals all the communication signals to peace, calm, longevity, and radiance. Simply by giving our body these positive messages, the magnificence of our knowing just allows it to happen. We are reorchestrating our vibrational mixture to a glorious heavenly system while still remaining in an earth body. Now, we ask that our emotional body support our new regenerative physical body. We ask that all of our mental systems support and guide in these new ways, gently and lovingly, with complete trust, this new systemic movement and overhaul. Take a deep breath, integrating breath through your nose and out through your mouth, and let these energies now run all down through your feet and out the bottom of your feet, anchoring into the earth grid, because you are here of this earth and you are still incarnated at this moment. So we want to be grounded and we want to be here. We've just made some new decisions, and as a result of those decisions, we have some new systems in our bodies operating. So feel it, allow it. Allow any area that's been sluggish or misaligned to rejoice, release, and heal now. Beautiful. This is almost like when you go to paint a picture and you use different colors. You are revibrating and recoloring the dot to dot of your physical energy field. Be sure that you're feeling it. You're not just thinking it. You should be feeling expansion, release, relaxation, little tension, then release in all different parts of your body. As it's becoming more synchronized, homogenized in this pure light bath. So now pull the energy up. We're almost finished, through the bottom of your feet, from the earth up through your legs, and up through the rest of your body. Beautiful. Let this energy mix and nest in your heart, the alchemical marriage of your divine and physical. It's very beautiful. Excuse me. And let this energy go up through your shoulders, down into your arms and your fingertips, and your neck, up through your head. And we ask and intend that we are now at a minimum complete vibration of over 734 hertz. Just allow it. Deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. Just let go and let it just wash through you. No resistance. Deep breath, and now let the energy go up out the top of your head and back up and connect to Creator Source. So now you're a vibrational messenger from the Creator of new possibilities, starting with yourself. 4, reversing aging. No, it's not even reversing, it's eliminating and restoring the youthful countenance, if you so choose. So take a breath through your nose and out through your mouth. It's very sweet that I read that the Egyptian priestesses and priests, they would know who wasn't doing their inner work and working with reigns of creation vibrationally through their meditations if they started getting gray hair, because they never aged if they were actually doing their inner work, which pressed outward and became their reality. For everything begins in the energy field around us, and then it drops down and becomes physical. So that's why a person like Amma, Buddha, or Dalai Lama radiate, and you would never say, oh, there's an old person. Never. It is their divine essence, and it is ageless. They may or may not choose to stay in a smooth, supple, more youthful countenance. So it depends. It's choice. It's all choice. And if they did choose to do that, it might have such a repercussion against the mainstream belief systems that people would be angry and confused and not embrace them. So it's each of us needs to choose the path that serves for who we are and our mission and what we are meant to deliver to who. So you know if this is your path. For instance, my friend Hedda, well into her 60s, looks like a radiant young starlet, and she practices every way of angelic kindness and goodness moving through her, and it shows. It's very beautiful. She's also an esthetician who is able to assist women to bring the best out in their skin and their beingness in that external way as well. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath through the nose and out through the mouth. All of these energies have been working while I'm talking. I just choose not to just sit here in silence while all of this is percolating. But I have been speaking and you're percolating. You're continuing this process of the divine energy in from above, washing and flushing, and then the energy of placement, the energy of security. I have a place, I have this body, I'm grounded on this earth. Now you're the perfect marriage of heaven on earth through this body. And by doing so, you have the ability to have extra sensory gifts and perception and the ability to, again, rearrange matter so that it serves you so that you can serve others in the highest. I think that's about it today, except for Do be sure that you're plugged in at source with your cording so you're complete in your circuitry. And also put a beautiful golden resilient egg around your energy field that, again, is somewhat bouncy, and other people's thoughts, magazine articles on aging, you just don't entrain with it. It's not your truth. You set how to feel and how to be. And this is the new paradigm. It is absolutely the new paradigm. And you get to be part of the co-creation of it all. So thanks for joining me here today. Again, I'm Jan Cercone at Sound and Light Healing Arts. And just please join my newsletter. I have many project events and workshops, and I just love to connect with people. So I love your comments on this as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.